The person at extension available. Thank you. Goodbye.
Sizing engineering.
Yeah.
So like we
Good afternoon. Mr. Booth, my old buddy, how are you?
Doing fine, Mr. Johnson. How are you?
I'm just pitching. That
Captain Liver. How you doing?
did you see that? No, that's a see that. Hey.
You know,
That's
I'm like, I said, what is this? The anthem about the luxury tax? That's not California. He's like, I was like, that's great.
Eric, good morning. There was a crash at the banks last night.
yeah, it's Arnold.
And I have a friend, his son works there. I'm just praying he went on that plane.
Yeah, they haven't said who was aboard.
Just went.
Yeah,
That's what they were thinking it was.
it was Terry.
Golly, that's terrible.
But I don't know who else who else it is.
Did it turn out to be a girl strip to Paris? Is that what it was gonna be? Yes,
They were stopping for fuel to go to parents.
but it was a girl strip?
No, that's terrible. Gonna be good. That is terrible. That wasn't. That's not gonna be good.
Happy New Year, folks.
Ales? Gig'em. I like that. Is that what that means? Gig'em?
Absolutely.
I am not an
Absolutely not, sir.
Or long. That's fine too.
I'm none of the above.
Bear cats.
My dad's a red cat.
Hey, they named the university, at that university, they named the
She's
auditorium after my dad. Bernard G. Johnson Auditorium, believe
A
that,
few minutes.
believe it or not.
No, she'll be here.
Just step in.
I know.
He's nothing like I am.
Thank God.
He's a lot smarter than I am.
Kill had a flat tire. She'll be here. She might be a few minutes late. She'll just step in
Okay.
wherever we're at.
We have a quorum out.
And if I step out, David will take over. I'll be back. I just might have to step out for a few minutes if I do. Yeah, I'll say, all right. Yeah, I'm up there.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay. You know, I carry the magic pill. Any pilot worth his salt carries the magic pill. You know what the magic pill is, Mr. Booth?
Did they forget their itis?
It's that, but it's also called an Imodium.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, several Imodium.
Never leave home without it.
A whole bottle of that stuff.
Especially if you're only guy on board.
Oh, man. Emergency descent was out in the North Platte, Nebraska for one of my kids that had a little accident in the back of the Baron.
You know, what's really sexy is when you have these big shot people on board, they're paying you a lot of money and think you know what you're doing. And you got to fly them over like 8 of them to make an emergency pit stop.
Yeah. Right here in a 2 airplane pilot.
You're hoping that was the outflow valves behind the potty.
Yeah.
I think it'll lyrics up front. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. In our last trip overseas, we had 7-8 with half the bathrooms working. That was enjoyable for 14 and a half hours.
You know, Mickler's airplanes, you know what they did over in Italy?
What?
They put the chemicals in the potty and overflowed it.
In the new one?
belly of the airplane.
In the new one?
And it's corrosive. And so they ended up having to take the plane and move the whole interior to get all that
I
stuff.
wonder if that's the one I was on when we went up to Central Texas. I don't know which one it was, but they have two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first one.
Yeah.
Was it the first one or the second one?
First one.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I wonder how expensive that was.
Well, the FBO paid for it.
What they did?
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice. Well, it's not nice, but that's better.
yeah. Because the potty only holds like a gallon and a half of chemical, I can't think what it's called. And they just hooked it on and started pumping.
You all right?
Good morning. We're gonna. Sorry.
That's better. Well, gee, so that stuff's blues too. You can't ever get it out of anything. Things.
Yeah,
You know, these potties, this is just free information. They have a knife valve on them. They do have a king here. And where you have to take close the knife valve, you unhook you take the whole thing out there.
yeah,
Well, you want to make damn sure that when you put that thing back in there, you open up that knife valve. For two reasons. One, if somebody's going to use it, but also if nobody uses it, that valve stays closed and you're ascending and you open that valve, you're going to have a blue storm in the gap. I got to tell you how I learned that, but I didn't do it out here. Oh, they're wonderful airplane. All right. It's 1:02 p.m. Notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 26, 2026. I already said it's 1:02 p.m. at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Friendswood, Texas. This is a notice of appeal of administrative hearing decision, Kansas Development Group, Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates. This appeal decision regarding violations of 2A pre-development review as referenced in the findings attached here to incorporated herein. Notice is hereby given that the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District will conduct a hearing on the appeal of the administrative hearing in the above referenced matter. Again, the date is January 26th here at 1605 Whitaker Drive in Friendswood. The purpose of this hearing is to consider the appeal of the decision issued following the administrative hearing held on December 10th, 2025 in accordance with the applicable laws, rules, and procedures governing the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District. The appellant may appear in person or authorized representative, may present arguments as permitted under the applicable appeal process. Failure to appear at the scheduled time and place may result in dismissal of the appeal or affirmation of the prior administrative decisions. A request for reasonable accommodations or questions regarding this notice should be directed to Paige Bailey here at the district, and her information is enclosed. I need to keep going, or can we start? Where do we start at, Paige, on this? Just
Everyone, one violation at a time, and so you've presented, you've opened for 2A pre-development review. And so, I would assume that you would pass to Mr. Booth to present his arguments concerning the appeals.
Mr. Briggs?
Yes, sir. May I approach?
Yes, sir.
I've handed the board and opposing counsel a copy of a letter filed with Ms. Bailey setting forth grounds for the appeal. We'll say that these grounds apply to every one of the appeals that are on the docket today. But if you'll allow me just a few minutes to summarize, Mr. Chair. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I represent the respondents, Kansas Development Group and Lone Star Wilderness, and we filed this appeal. I'm here to appeal every one of the 12 administrative hearing decisions issued on December 10th. Those decisions impose a $20,000 civil penalty per violation for a total of $240,000. We request that the board vacate all 12 decisions, reverse the findings of violations, and dismiss the penalties in their entirety. The hearings suffered from multiple fatal flaws as outlined below. Ground one is that there's insufficient evidence supporting the violations. The board's findings are not supported by preponderance of substantial evidence. The record, including transcripts, findings, documents, and incorporated materials, lack specific factual details, witness testimony, documents, and other proof demonstrating that the alleged violations actually occurred. The conclusions are purely conclusory, using boilerplate language without linking the respondent's conduct to the cited sections. This violates due process and makes the decision arbitrary and capricious. Ground number 2, denial of due process. The hearings failed to provide the due process required under the U.S. and Texas constitutions and the Texas administrative standards by imposing arbitrary time limits and interruptions that denied a meaningful opportunity to present evidence. The board limited rebuttal to 10 minutes per violation. As the president said, I'm going to limit Allie, you, and Mr. Booth to no more than 10 minutes for each at most to refute this so we can move on for each violation. This rigid cap across 14 complex violations covering technical, factual, and legal issues like insurance details, historic drainage plans was insufficient for a full defense, development, or response. In the letter, I quoted the frequent interruptions, but they included, let's get the violation so we're not here all day. We're running out of time, so let's move it. These curtailed relevant arguments, master plan, or consolidation supporting estoppel and change conditions, and increase the risk of an incomplete record of error. While the reasonable limits are allowed under the Texas Government Code, this blanket 10-minute restriction with persistent interruptions failed to meet the standard under Matthews v. Etheridge for balancing test. Or the respondent's interest in avoiding unjust fines outweighs efficiency when rebuttals heighten error risk. There also the comments also reflect an implicit bias of the board president. The cumulative effect rendered the hearings fundamentally unfair. Number 3, res judicata and collateral estoppel. These penalties stem from identical conduct and violations already litigated before the 122nd District Court. There, the court declared the prior $3.4 million aggregate penalty void and unenforceable as exceeding the $20,000 statutory limit under the Texas Water Code. Res judicata and collateral estoppel barred the district from relitigating or reassessing penalties in the same matter. Number 4, conflict of interest. The board members presiding over these fines and appeal are the same individual who are respondents, defendants, and appellees in the district court litigation and the appeal for the first court appeals. Their personal stake in the ongoing litigation creates an inherent bias and conflict, rendering impartial review impossible and violating due process. Ground number 5, lack of evidence and arbitrary penalties. There's no evidence was presented of actual damages, harm, or impact from the violations. The district witnesses could not identify a single dollar of damage or confirm drainage onto adjacent property, conceding not one drop of water drained off the property onto adjacent property. Yet the board imposed a maximum $20,000 per violation without justification, proportionality, or mitigation consideration. That makes the penalties excessive and unsupported by substantial evidence. Ground number 6 is an ultra vires action. District has not properly adopted the master drainage plan under the Texas Water Code. Without this prerequisite, it lacks authority to adopt and enforce the rules on drainage plan review, plats, or other related activities. Ground number 7 is exceeds the jurisdictional limits. Even if framed as separate violations, the $240,000 arising from a single course of conduct exceeds the district's $20,000 statutory limit under Texas Water Code 49.004A. This is an impermissible circumvention of the district's court's prior invalidation of the aggregate penalty. Ground number 8, violations of the Texas Open Meetings Act. The hearing decisions were avoidable under 551.141. The posted notice stated the proceedings did not constitute a meeting of the board and no deliberation or action would occur. Yet a quorum deliberated and assessed penalties. An unposted, unannounced executive session occurred without proper notice, citation, certification, or recording, voting lack of formal motion, and a specific record. And the district's response to this violation acknowledges that a potential ratification is needed for a future complaint. Ground number 9, evidentiary deficiencies reliant on admissible or inconclusive evidence. The findings rely on insufficient, inconclusive, or admissible evidence. Key witness Scott Sheridan testified without under oath, and and making unsworn testimony is inadmissible in quasi judicial proceedings. The citizen photos showed no offsite impacts as conceded by the district engineer, but yet they were admitted. Violations were found without proof of causation or harm, violating substantial evidence rules of due process. Number 10, the board bias. The hearing showed a demonstrable bias in the professional conduct, violating impartiality requirements. And in closing, these independent and cumulative reasons, evidentiary insufficiency, due process violations, res judicata, conflict of interest, arbitrary penalties, ultra vires, and jurisdictional overreach, non-compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, evidentiary flaws, and bias, the board must vacate the 12 decisions, reverse the findings, and dismiss the penalties. We appreciate your attention, and I'm available for any questions.
Okay, Eric, I want to give you the latitude to talk and say what you need to say. And then after that, we're going to run through the violations. We're on 2A right now. This is all inclusive, but then we're going to go through violations and limit the discussion back to the 10 minutes each per violation. So go ahead.
As the board knows, this is a matter presently in litigation in Galveston County. They're appealing the court's ruling, dismissing all the members of the board individually from the lawsuit. What is noticed right now is their appeal of the Section 2A pre-development rule violation, pre-development review violation. I haven't heard anything about how they supposedly complied with it. So y'all have to make your decision as to whether they presented any grounds for appeal. All I've got.
Okay, so we're here, right here to vote on this, and then we'll close this one down. So it's violation 2A, pre-development review as referenced and the findings attached here to and incorporated herein. We'll have a motion to uphold the board's decision. Motion. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. It is now 1:14, and I will close down the hearing on 2A. Notice is hereby given of the special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 26th at 1:14 p.m. at the district's office located at 605 Whitaker Drive. It's an appeal of administrative hearing decision regarding tennis development group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates. Appeal of administrative hearing on 30 Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-01. It's the appeal of the decision regarding violation 2B, submittal of plans, plats, reports to the district as referenced in the findings attached here to and incorporated herein. Mr. Booth.
It's the same arguments tendered in my letter. And so I submit the same arguments and reasons to overturn review.
Mr. Lippert.
This is an appeal of violation 2B, which was submittal of the plans, plats, reports to the district. That issue has been already presented to the board. I haven't heard anything from Mr. Tanos about his compliance with those rules that are published for all the citizens of this district. So you have to decide whether he's provided adequate grounds for appeal of the issue without coming forward with the evidence of compliance.
Okay, we're here on the bill decision regarding violation 2B, submittal of plans, plats, reports to the district. That's referenced in the findings attached here to and incorporated herein. Got a motion from a board member for upholding the decision or discussion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion.
What is your motion?
The board has,
Uphold.
oh, thank you, because the board has an option to uphold, to modify, to,
Yeah, let me just explain. I want a motion to either uphold the decision or discuss, and then we'll get to the uphold or reverse it. So the motion is to uphold the decision. Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, it's 1:17. I'm going to close the hearing down on 2B, violation 2B. Notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 2026 at 1:17 p.m. at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive. It's a bill of administrative hearing decision, Tennis Development Group LLC, and Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates. It's a bill of administrative hearing, like I said, on 30 Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-001. It's the appeal and the decision regarding violation of 2C, fees paid to the district as referenced in the findings attached here to and incorporated herein. Mr. Booth?
Yes,
Sorry to interrupt, if I may. We did notice these hearings 10 minutes apart in order to allow for an appropriate time between hearings. A hearing on 2C is noticed for 1:20 p.m. And so I'm afraid that if we're getting a little ahead as far as what we've noticed as far as holding these separate hearings. But I believe we might need to wait 5 minutes.
Do you have an objection to us moving with the current time stated, Mr. Booth?
I don't.
Mr. Lippert, do you have an objection to that?
The only thing I worry about is every time we move, they make a technical claim that this Open Meetings Act violations. As long as Mr. Booth recites in this record that he is waiving any objection to this meeting being held outside its noticed time, early as a convenience to him, then I think we're okay. Although understand that some third-party citizen might be able to say, you've made a decision ahead of when it was noticed. I don't think any citizen is going to make that complaint, but it's something you'll need to consider.
Anything to add, Mr. Booth?
Yeah, I mean, I recognize that it's convenience for everyone in the room. I think the arguments are the same. I'm willing, on behalf of the respondents, Tanos and Wilderness Trail, to waive potential claims regarding the violation of Open Meetings Act on purposes of the time proceeding ahead of schedule. It's fine. As long as my letter is, which sets forth the grounds for appeal, is included separately in each of the records for all of the 12 noticed appeal hearings.
I don't have a problem with that at all. That's why I gave you the latitude at first and Mr. Lippert to read the whole letter. So I have no problem with that at all.
And just to be clear, I don't want anything, I'm not waiving that we are somehow haven't or have failed to exhaust our administrative remedies. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But
And I want to start the record, if there's any angst about this at all, we'll just simply wait. I'm the board is here. We're here. We'll simply wait. If we want to move on and we announce the times of each, clicking off each individual hearing, I'm happy to do that. But I'm also happy to wait. So,
at this point, it's a minute and a half.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing I will say is the only person or persons that have any complaint about going early is some citizen who didn't want to show up and either somehow participate in Mr. Tanos's appeal.
yeah, I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna wait to do on schedule. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll make a decision. If anybody have a problem with that or want to discuss that, but I think nobody. Okay. We'll wait one more minute.
Okay.
I appreciate Mr. Booth. I am a little more concerned because a citizen might have a point where they want to show up and just hear y'all's deliberate. So that's a concern. So I understand. Okay, well, the time now is 1:20 p.m. So I'm going to reconvene the meeting on 2C, and I'm going to again announce the notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District. The hearing overall started at 1:02 p.m. at the district office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive. This is an appeal of administrative hearing decision, Canos Development Group, LLC, and Lone Star Wilderness Trails. That's an appeal of administrative hearing, Joby Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-001 on violation 2C, which we will start here at 1:20 p.m. These paid to the district as referenced in the findings attached here to and incorporated herein. And again, Mr. Booth, the floor is yours.
The respondents reissue the grounds in its letter dated January 26th that provided to the board.
Julie.
This is the appeal of violation 2C, which for fees to be paid to the district is referenced in the findings that we had made, or this board had made previously. I've heard nothing to say that the board's decision was erroneous on the facts of the failure to pay the fees. So you have to make a decision whether there's any evidence before you that justifies your reversal of your prior decision.
Okay, so y'all heard the two councils. Do I have a motion from one of the board members on to discuss or to uphold the violation?
Motion to uphold. Second.
A motion to uphold and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is upheld, and I will close down the violation 2C hearing at 1:21 p.m. on December 26th.
There on 25-degree temperature.
Did you?
I did not do it. No friend did it. I helped, but
38 degrees, not 20.
this morning, the wind chill, it was so bad. It was so cold. My fingers were. I did.
Well, from being outside.
Yeah. And we were out for 45 minutes, open, trying to stay warm and get that tire change. You get a different kind of jack, isn't it? With the one that comes with the car.
You
And that was,
need to just go buy one, just a half-ton jack and just lunge it down the back corner of your big car, and it'll make your life so much easier in case it happens.
in case it
Well,
happens.
when it does, you'll love it because you'll just jack it up and change it and get you a good tire. Just carry you a good tire and just it'll make your life. You have a lock on there on your wheels.
No.
Good. You don't need.
I
Unless you
have
got some
one
expensive.
on the Range Rover, but
Oh, yeah. Nobody wants our
oh, I even
wheels.
have, I actually have one on the Jeep, which is weird, but I guess it came with it.
I wonder when they're gonna list those names of who was on that jet.
Oh,
Well, Robert and Eric both think, they said it was his wife, was one of them on the girls trip. But
who owns?
how do you say the last name of the
It's
car?
Arnold and Itkin,
Itkin, they say Itkin.
two very prominent plaintiffs lawyers in Houston.
Okay, I knew it was a Houston plane, I didn't know who it was though.
Yeah, and these guys have really done a lot of good things. Like they donated a huge amount of money to the University of Texas.
Okay.
He said $100
Yeah,
million.
so-
Dang.
So when you go to the Memorial Stadium,
Mhm.
you look one way, it says Joe Jamail.
Right?
You look
He
another
was
way,
an
it says
actual friend of my grandmother's.
Yeah. You look another way, it says Arnold and Itkin.
Okay.
And you look another way and it's,
Are they the original partners in the firm?
they started it from.
They did?
Yeah.
Are they both?
They're young guys.
Are they
Oh,
both-
yeah. But they're younger than me.
I don't know. So, I
Yeah.
don't know. So that's amazing. So when did they actually start the firm?
15 years ago.
Man, wow. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a terrible tragedy. I just don't know why it's been so.
so she's young.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're good friends,
Well, it's a small, y'all know everybody. It's a small community. I mean, y'all know everybody.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
That's terrible.
I've been very surprised with as much social media is out there that people haven't come forward and said, I know this person was on board.
It's been pretty
Right.
quiet.
Yeah.
But it hit. I got it on a news blast before it actually hit the news. I was watching the news and they did talk about it, but it already. Is that a two pilot airplane?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, a lot of the planes we fly are one pilot certified. That I didn't think that one was.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wonder if there's any, at the little de-icing, in my little airport in Steamboat, there's no, you have to go to Hayden for de-icing.
So I think what happened, just looking at the blogs last night, is that they were stopping there for fuel because they're going to Paris. And I think they probably de-iced, but if you look at the weather conditions, the holdover period was like 10 minutes. It was pretty quick. So even if you got de-iced, you'd have to get up fast. And the the reports from at the times that took off and it just rolled.
It's thought.
It just rolled right onto its roof. So I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but it sounded to me like a de-icing.
I hate to agree with you. It is gonna be right. So I believe you're correct. I've studied this for my whole life and I think you're exactly right.
And the conditions were 333, but it was.
You know, the whole holdover thing came from Air Florida when they took off out of National and
Yeah, and we hit the bridge.
Exactly.
Remember that one?
over time.
Remember that one? They freaking got them out of the water. Like I said, up in Steamboat, you know, they'll get in and of course they'll put them in the hangar and they'll melt off. That's the modus operandi there is no de-icing. So you get in a heated hangar for 24 hours before you leave. But a lot of those bigger jets will go because they want to leave immediately. They'll go to Hayden so Atlantic can pop them.
You know, but the Banger's a major fuel stop going back and forth.
And that's about the right time night for them to make that
Yeah,
crossing
they'd be taking off.
with the winds.
Yeah, sure did when they get there.
There's one survivor.
Said the
There
pilot,
was a crew member. There were 3 crew members, 5 passengers.
just one survivor, right?
Yeah, but it was a crew member.
Right.
I mean, this is all, I don't know, this is all just rumor. I mean, it's all subject
So
to.
he thinks the same thing. He said, you said crew member too.
Yeah, I just don't know.
So somebody's knows something evidently because y'all stories all match.
Well, there's something about this accent though that it's still confusing to me because normally you hear of people who say, "Oh, my loved one was on board that airplane."
Well, y'all know too, when you get positive rate, you suck up the gear and stuff. And you might be a little slower there, but when the wheels were still up and that plane's upside down, you're thinking how soon that happened.
You know, there was a similar accident with that model airplane. It might have been 601 or something, but it was at Montrose, Colorado some years ago. And it was slush on the runway.
Yeah.
And that caused them to use way more runway. And I mean, you know, you can look in the book. We look at the big book, you know, you can calculate that, but
And it's a big book.
Yeah.
It's really tough, very sad.
those that have and those that will. So God bless them and the crew.
I know that the firm was that young.
Dickon was a year ahead of me at UT, undergrad. So
So you know the family.
I don't know. I mean, I knew him, but I did not know the family. No, I just knew him from UT undergrad, that's all.
Man, that's young. I can't believe it. That young.
4 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna keep up my phone. I'm gonna watch. Because I got 128 and counting.
Still stuck on the 100 million donated to University
Isn't
of
that
Texas.
crazy?
I'm like, God,
You just wish they donated to the University of Houston. So you're wishing.
what?
You just wish they could do a donation, but it wasn't. So get over it.
No, I mean,
Their pack has over 10 million.
it's junk mail. I mean, there's no telling how much he actually ended up donating to the school and stuff.
Yeah.
My grandmother went to elementary school and all through elementary and high school with his wife. They,
Well, UT's had some really good benefactors, because Gary Thomas, who was EOG, he donated I think $100 million in the last few years.
But we're sitting on the wrong side of this freaking bench
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
We need to be sitting out there with y'all two.
And you know what?
Y'all 3.
He donated his car collection, and UT said, "We don't want the car collection. We want the money."
yeah, we want the value
So
of it.
he's been sort of setting the market on liquidating cars.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here we go. Notice is hereby given of special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Finance District on Monday, January 2026. The regular, the whole proceeding started at 1:02 p.m. at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Brunswick, Texas. Appeal of administrative hearing decision regarding Panos Development Group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates. Bill of administrative hearing, case on file number 30 Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 111-001. It's an appeal of the decision regarding violation 2D site visit as referenced in the findings attached here to and incorporated herein. The time is 1:30 p.m. Mr. Booth.
Thank you. I have, on behalf of Tanos and Wilderness Trails, I previously submitted a letter dated today, setting forth reasons and request for you to vacate the penalty as the board to do so.
We obviously received that letter just moments before the hearing, but nothing in that letter contains any evidence or facts that would suggest that the requirement of a site visit was in fact complied with by Mr. Tanos, which is a published requirement of this drainage district for all citizens to comply with. So you had to make a decision whether you've heard evidence that supports changing your decision.
So board, this is an appeal of the decision regarding violation 2D site visit as referenced in the findings attached here to incorporated herein. Do I have a motion for discussion or a motion to uphold?
Motion to uphold.
Second.
All the motion to uphold and second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is now 1:32 p.m. I'm going to close the meeting on violation 2D. Like a internet discussion of what we're going to talk about every time. You got anything, Randy? Anything bugging you?
Is it like an open floor? I can talk
No.
about anything?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
They're still recording, audio and video.
That'll stop him.
Be careful. No, it won't actually. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
You want to talk about religion, politics? And this is too big for me. I know you do. I mean, would you get this one? I bought it, that part.
Are we waiting 7 more minutes?
Yes.
We'll talk for a second.
Sure.
There's 6 people died.
6 people. Yeah,
Some
so,
fishermen,
they said there were 7 on there.
so there's 8.
8. Oh, there's 2 things. Said 7 last night.
That's just what they message. Big differences.
I'll be right. Yeah, somebody faded them. That's all. That's good. Good. So he's doing that. Don't get any ice over here. Oh, dude, you'll see. Okay, I got covered out of this. So it's pretty. I don't know.
David, what would you say?
That's what the road looks like. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wait, I didn't post this one.
What's in Bangor?
I have no idea.
Banger.
I just,
It's a common, back of World War II when they were building the fields and.
pictures of the mayor. That was cool. And I
They
was
here to stage and everything, so to the airport.
yeah, last year's.
Have customs, and so it's a common.
The mayor of Springfield decided to be.
Going in.
Okay.
You know, just the dusting, but the road held it good. Chicken coops also, or people showing me the chicken coops all iced over, but yeah, that you went down and that was just, it's just. That ice is so treacherous. Got a power jar. No, not the chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Have you seen the new thing we told her about?
Just got it.
No.
Monitored.
It's pretty interesting. I
Nice.
think it's gonna really help because it's, that's scheduled to take a sheet back to March 1st. It's in the contract. But it basically tracks like the federal school. So you file the motion and then she wants to not keyed off the hearing. It's due, and then the reply is due 7 days after that. And then it makes a bigger, no evidence or possession. How to do a hybrid vote, they call it a combined.
Yeah.
And so, and then of course, you know, the new law, talk about judicial business, it gives the courts then, they're on the clock to make a ruling.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
It's a good way. I think it's gonna really change so many different
Yeah,
things.
yeah, for sure.
It's pretty interesting.
Well, the one thing I can say is, Galveston has really done a very good job. That judiciary is really good. Getting things done efficiently.
Yeah, as opposed to Harris County, it's very different.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, you know.
Yeah, whatever
I think the worst scheme
is.
kind of bring that like federal practice down to the state. I think it's good.
Say, you know, I'll tell you,
What's that?
you know, have you seen Judge Brown after his,
My law partner's going to trial with him tomorrow. That'll be the second case he's tried. You know, you and I basically had some of the few cases in Southern District in the past 5 years.
right,
Mine was in front of Edison, but yeah, Brown's going to trial on a very big case. It's got over 700 PCF. But
what's the issue?
it's
I seen those.
it's an industrial dispute,
Okay.
kind of like yours. But I think what he's doing now in his case is that he may have been all yours was is that he grants these summary judgment and narrows an issue. He does that repeatedly as he gets to the trial. And so, I mean, I know your trial went like, what, 6 weeks or something?
Yeah.
Did he narrow the issues before trial?
They're over now.
Sort of, and that's why, you know, the arguments at the Fifth Circuit on March 2nd.
Is Connie gonna argue? I talked to Connie at the, at the Alabama Christmas party, and she said that all the briefing was fine.
Yeah.
Chris, you met,
I have a lot of respect for her.
Chris Band.
They've done a great job, you know, the issue in that case is the contract used the
Flames from
term of art, but didn't define the term of art.
Apparently regional.
And Judge Brown used ordinary English
Jim.
definition for the word,
Shop.
which doesn't work.
We had a similar issue in the case that's going to trial.
Yeah.
It was defining defining a term in the contract.
Yeah.
Thank you.
An undefined term.
So the argument at the Fifth Circuit is,
It's been a while.
Brown rewrote the contract. Yeah, so we're right. The case goes back for a new trial.
Yeah.
I bought a house over here.
So I think we're right, but, you know, I respect Brown.
Of course, everybody thinks.
And I think he sort of got baited into it. You know.
I'll go back and read the briefing, because I've been, I followed the case when it went down.
Yeah, the briefing is massive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping we get reversed.
It's, what's it says?
March 2nd, Fifth Circuit.
I'm speaking at the advanced civil trial strategies in New Orleans in February.
Yeah.
It's not that long.
No, it's March 2nd and,
But right around that time, it's like an appellate settlement on the Fifth Circuit, and they study the cases.
yeah,
And so they bring in these students to come watch the arguments. That happened to me last time I was there. And it's crazy how they do it. They actually like workshop the cases.
yeah.
And so you have like this huge audience. I think it's time.
Time, Rusty.
Notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 26, 2026 at 1:02 p.m. when we started the regular meeting. The district's office is located at 1605 Whitaker Drive. To appeal administrative hearing decision regarding Tannis Development Group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates. Appeal of administrative hearing Case file number 30 Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-001. Received a decision regarding violation 2E. Item as referenced in the finding attached here to incorporated herein. The time is now 1:40 p.m. Mr. Booth?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I have tendered to the board a letter setting forth 10 individual grounds for reversal of the board's previous decision. We ask that the board reverse the decision and vacate the fund on those reasons.
Mr. Lee?
Violation E deals with elevation datum and the failure to include that in anything submitted to the district. Based upon all of these materials, I haven't seen anything that says the district was incorrect in its decision that rule had not been complied with. It's a published rule available to all citizens of this county and should be complied with. And you all have to make a decision whether you've heard any evidence that justifies changing your prior decision if they had not followed the rules.
Okay, board, this is an appeal of decision regarding violation 2E datum as referenced in the finding attached here to and incorporated herein. Do I have a motion to uphold the decision or to discuss?
Motion to uphold. Second.
A motion to uphold and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That concludes the meeting, the violation 2E hearing. The time is now 1:42 p.m. I will close this hearing.
Right after your case, I got a summary judgment against Andrew Myers on a $20 to $30 million exposure that they then flipped on appeal. So now we're back as district court. It was like,
In front of Brown?
no, it was in front of state district court.
Okay.
But it was just like, your case came down and then I got the 40. So.
Yeah.
Case was pending before Brown and Edison, but they dismissed it. When we filed the state.
Yeah.
Spots in finger.
This is Iceland. That's Iceland. That's great.
Yeah.
Bangers like.
Did he,
And
we
they,
had another case that said in April,
they publish tracks.
his local rules say no joint pretrial orders.
They do it every day.
Then we get a docket entry saying,
Icelandic.
file your joint pretrial order.
Yeah.
It's because California.
I've never filed one.
Maybe that's something he's doing new.
But he's not doing, he didn't require a joint pretrial order in this case. That's going to trial tomorrow, which that's got
taking advantage of.
almost 800 cents in filing. So I don't know how to advise a client. So this is-
Who's trying the case that's
I've
going
never
to
done
trial?
tracks. Yeah, satellite tracking. Used to be, it was all time and distance. And there's the Pacific track. And you have to maintain.
It's not just
speed. Certain altitude. So that's how they keep track of separate. But that's a lot further across than. The Atlantic. So I've done this several times to Reykjavik and Greenland. I came here back from
Plan is Miss Porter Hedges.
there. But the storm was coming.
Chairman Collins involved, like, just like. She's recently involved in- Oh, I'm sorry. Plan session requirements. Well, they're both. It's not wire.
Still do that. About 8 times. And that's what causes that low. It's Gulf Stream.
So it's just an hour time difference.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any.
What these cups? Ladies.
Greenland sort being so close. Up in north.
Sometimes you'll see it here.
Okay.
You know, these great circle routes. Here's the deal. I just sit on this part. Sometimes you'll sit here break. Just get from the safari, just the top. Public. Is that name? I have to over themselves. Like this guy right here. It's like he's at the. It's be careful. I take this. I be careful. Don't get real sick. It's not.
And all those airplanes are presently in squad.
I'll never forget one of the first things you said to me when we did this.
You can't get the clearance.
Do it 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm probably gonna see.
It's clearance. Departure clearance.
Because I don't sleep. And I was like,
You're like a mile from the fence.
okay, well, what's security guard?
It's extra. It's just not. It's. You're gonna be at the right away.
You know, all those companies just hang down so that way they're off.
Yeah, that's that. Their friends got.
That's
There's so much.
Let me see if I can find out something else. Hang on. Oh, wait, is that my purse? I'm not ordering something.
It's easy, and it's sort of funny. All law practices feel like all doctors' offices. They got everybody like this, Alan and Bill.
They have Chris at 43.
Oh, that's everybody.
You know, I don't get that.
They're 43.
Now you get a biological
It's
lesson.
today their birthday.
So that's why.
Today.
Tonight is 11:30 and 11:31 will be 43.
Which one's older?
Chris.
Chris is
Chris.
older.
1 minute.
You got your baby Patty.
That's her birthday.
Yes, yeah. Couple.
Had him 27th of December.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So she's,
In Manhattan on Monday. So,
I don't see Patty at the store as often as I see Jim, but I see Patty pretty frequently. I see Jim probably twice a week.
TV. Jim loves his HEBs, don't you?
Yeah,
You like it.
tell you, I'm getting to where I look around and see if I can see Jason.
We ended up in the same checkout line on accident. I met him on purpose.
I'm glad y'all love it. I don't like
I
it.
hate the grocery
I do
store.
too. I can't stand it. But
And I don't like this HEB.
Shaking hands and kissing babies, man.
it's too small. I wish we had one that big, like an Eldorado.
That El Dorado one is awesome.
Yes,
I like El
yeah.
Dorado
That
and I
was-
like Sterling Parkway.
Oh, yeah, that's legit too. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy train. That's crazy.
But that one has the,
HEB.
Don't you dare slander the.
I love
HEB
HEB. I want a big one. I want the Eldorado one or the Pearland one. I love that one.
I'm not-
Eldorado, it's great.
I bought bad meat from HEB one time. Pork. And I was like, I will never buy meat again from there. I mean, literally, I thought it was my daughter's dirty diaper and I got the meat home and it smelled so bad. I was like, it's not even her. She was 2 years old at the time.
Oh, goodness.
My parents shop at Kroger because it's close to where they live, because they live under by the post
I
office.
see them there.
And I always ask them, I said, God, I don't go to HB. They're like, it's too far. I'm like, you live in Friendswood. But are you kidding me? It's too far.
They're so cute. I see them.
That's funny. Isn't that funny? It's too far.
Mhm.
The most that you travel in any direction is 7 miles.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, Mom.
But it is literally around the corner from them.
Oh, it is. It's another 4 blocks closer, I guess.
And it's a smaller store. That Kroger is not that. We almost there.
Almost. Okay. Notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 2026. At 1:02 PM is when we started the main meeting at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive. Appeal of administrative hearing decision, Panos Development Group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates. Appeal of administrative hearing, case in file number 30, Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-001. It's an appeal of the decision regarding violation 2F, preliminary plan review as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. I'll open this hearing at 1:50 PM.
Mr. Ruth.
I previously provided a letter to the board setting forth 10 grounds to reverse and vacate the fine against Tanos Development Group and Lone Star Wilderness. And for the reasons stated in that letter, we ask that the board vacate and reverse the fine.
Thank you, Mr. Ruth. Mr. Lipper.
This violation deals with section 2F preliminary plat review, which is a public, excuse me, plan review, which is a requirement that is published in the drainage district's records. And a requirement that all citizens are required to comply with. The board previously had determined that this Tanos had not complied with that requirement. And I've heard nothing today that would suggest that there is evidence otherwise. The board needs to make a decision whether it's heard anything that justifies it changing its prior decision.
So board, we are here for the appeal of decision regarding violation 2F preliminary plan review as referenced in the findings attached here to incorporated herein. Do I have a motion to discuss or a motion to uphold the decision?
Motion to uphold the decision.
Second.
I have a motion to uphold and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries 5-0. The time is now 1:52 p.m. I will close down the violation hearing on 2F.
Initials. I didn't run into.
So you
Why would it also bring it to all?
Yeah.
You know, to aim at the little towers. Right there.
We, of course.
Aviation accidents are always a mess. You know, I've been around a lot of things.
I'm surprised, but at least if the chief. I've loved every there was a great separation.
You know, at least to sound like
He asked me to, he said.
law firm.
I love it.
I sort of thought
Yeah, we'll rotate it over.
someone from law firm, some spokesperson would say, who is the divine.
I'm over there.
Hell, you're
Good.
The public's leaving, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all had enough
See y'all.
of me? Thank you for coming.
Well, take care.
No. I like you. I trust you. I like being in the meat business. And it didn't make me money. But I think it's pays taxes. Some, yeah, let's pay some. I think, but I like being in the business. I'm not, I would like being around them, and where they're one way every time. It's kind of a thing they do. So I know what you mean. It's something restorative about it. Exactly where restorative is what it is for me. It's just stand out on the fence. And just, I'm older, even with the ones that weren't mine, now that they're mine, see that matter. You feel even a connection with where
I
we're
don't like people need to touch people.
it's not that, I don't know, it's gonna stay that. The prices are crazy. Crazy.
I hear about a shortage of beef.
The prices are past right now.
Oh, yeah.
I got that.
For this guy, they're at 31, 3,200.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I can remember some days in there, 200.
Oh, I kind of think what they're doing with, like, have you read about what the three big drug companies that control the market in the US? CVS is one of, there's two more, they're like brokers. What do they do? They control the market. So the government's going after them on prescriptions. I think that you have the same problem. There's only so many packers.
It makes the equivocation to Packers in the middle. You're thinking the Packers are controlling.
Yeah, I think they do to a certain extent.
Think about it, if they're in a true shortage, I mean, that's gonna be a problem. The prices are gonna go
Oh, man, the silver too, over in Railroad. I mean, a lot of people think it's gonna go two in the projection. I've seen, you see 25 and 6 is pretty conservative. I've seen people, some people say 60, 100 by the end of the year. I mean, I've seen that's crazy, but I'd have told you what it was gonna be. Like, so just so for you to say it's crazy. I never would have linked it. It's like, they say it's indicative of no face in it. I don't know if we ever got people like River go off and go stand on. No faith is half, that's the long time, no faith. This AI revolution is really dropping up. So like all the cars and everything is matter. I mean, rarely, I mean, I wonder what that already is. I wonder what the rare minerals birth. It is really, I mean, I wonder if the things are really where they trillions. Drop out pocket, it's up there. There's the thing about those companies is such a, there's so many. This is mass sold it last deal. He was out looking for another deal. He met a city's guy, like a guy out of Austin. His name is T. His parents had apartments. He's kind of a typical young techie, his hat on backwards kind of guy. And that was gonna talk back to work with him. The guy hired the CEO from Chevron to run it. And anyway, the guy just, the Chevron guy ended up quitting. He just couldn't get past, they needed an adult in the room to commercialize this thing. It was called Energy X. I did put some money with it, not much money, but they've got a big thing called Smackover up in Arkansas, which is getting lithium out of the wastewater from the oil gas fields. Yes, they've come up with the technology instead of having acres and acres and acres there. Anyway, tons of this shit in a plant. It's lots of footprint later. He's still trying to, get it to market. But, they've got another small plant here in Texas too. And supposedly lithium's like double, like 20,000 a ton or something. So that's part of it. I think. Once a green, because they're untouched. You get the you just got.
That's the worst.
There's so much. They got so much more. I mean,
You could probably.
there, I made 2 stops.
Are you trying to?
Greenland, and man, it was in the winter this time of year in King area. It was just, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
The guy in the tower, Cool City, East, told me that sometimes it'll ice it for 2 years and they keep a 2-year supply of fuel. So you can't get the ships in there for years.
We can go to lunch and go.
It's warmed up though.
Yeah.
Last several times I went, I saw the glaciers kind of back to that basic. And the Russian, Chinese tried to find the north. The northwest coast of Iceland, they tried to buy it because they
Ask
the
them
water. They could use that. President of the Boy Scout. He would get so
The old school. It's a good father. That would be a good deal too.
Hereby give them a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 26, 2026 at 1:02 p.m. is when the main meeting started in the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Friendswood, Texas. It's an appeal of administrative hearing decision. Tanos Development Group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates regarding an appeal of administrative hearing, case file number 30 Wilderness Trails GCCDD 11-001. Appeal of the decision regarding violation 2G as in Gulf preliminary plat approval as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. Mr. Booth.
On behalf of Tanos and Lone Star Wilderness, submitted a letter brief to the board setting forth 10 different grounds. And on those grounds, we ask that you vacate, reverse and vacate the fine at issue.
Yes, sir. And if I didn't say it, the time is 2 p.m. for this hearing on 2G. Thank you, Mr. Booth. Mr. Lifford.
The 2G preliminary plan approval is a requirement in our public drainage district rules and regulations that's available to all citizens for their development purposes in this county. And this was an issue that has been brought before the board previously. The board made its decision to issue a fine. I have not heard anything to change those facts upon which the board had made its earlier decision, but the board needs to make a decision whether it has heard something that would require it or interested in changing its decision.
Okay, so before the board is to build a decision regarding violation 2G as in Gulf. Preliminary plan approval as referenced in the findings attached here to and incorporated herein. Do I have a motion to uphold the decision or to discuss?
Motion to uphold.
Second.
I have a motion to uphold. A second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion stays in place. Carries. I'm going to close this hearing down at 2:02 p.m. on violation 2G.
Yeah, I think they've, and I think they may have, the Sullivans have sold this.
Yeah,
one.
yes.
Not gonna be able to get that.
I think. Yeah, they,
Hard to get price.
I tell you, that's.
well, they need further range, you know, their business is so successful and so broad based, they're going, they need to get to Europe now, yeah. So
I'm like,
it's really fascinating to watch their success, you know, and they're guys that really deserve it too.
Yeah, they're hard workers. And the secret really, when they go to bid in these contracts, there's no way they have the money.
Right.
They're money.
Right,
And almost nobody can.
right. Now that's a competitive advantage for you. You know,
That's where you get it. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Lucas is like Jordan wants to, Candy, she's the meeting, Lucas is like, what are you doing? Unless he's where you get
Rib fry?
if I rub on his back for a second, he's like, wait. I'm like,
Did you?
Depends what this quick everything. It's all done. That number. True budget. Yeah, it gives you a shotgun, right?
passed the boards for civil criminal.
Oh, did you?
There was like 8 people statewide. I think nobody can qualify for it. I'm on it. I mean, serious. Like, it's not like the days when you were growing up, you could get there.
Yeah.
But it's 8 people statewide. That's insane.
I gave up all my board certifications.
It's just depends.
I
Just because the ceiling.
I just quit it.
Yeah.
You know, because I was board certified civil trial law and family law.
Oh, I didn't know you did family law.
Yeah, I started out as a divorce lawyer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Family law had 22 people this year.
I did family law for about the first 5 years of my practice.
Did you do that one?
Interesting.
Same firm, same place.
Oh, same firm.
Yeah.
Is trying to think who else is there that I know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I was looking at like the numbers for civil trial law. Like when you were involved, I think it was almost 2,000.
Yeah.
And people are just letting it go, retiring or whatever. The number's down to 700.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're not replenishing because it's almost impossible to get the 15 trials.
Yeah.
Like the only other person since 2000 from Galveston County who's gotten it is Jeff Brown.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised Jeff Brown got it.
well, he must have done it. I think you can, as a judge, you can.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what he did.
Yeah, because he didn't have I knew him when he first went on the bench, and he wasn't a real, he was the judge of the 55th. He did not have a lot of trials.
But I think you can, as a judge, because like
Maybe you can.
3 or 4 of the people that got it this time were judges. So, you know,
Yeah. You know, I knew him, you know, from his Baker Botts days.
Yeah.
Henry. But, yeah. And for a while, he was living in my great grandfather's house on the island. He was
yeah,
living-
he's got a nice house now.
this wasn't as nice as we're living now.
I sincerely appreciate that he's kind of moved the island, got all in, because we've not had that for the past few decades. So it's been very nice.
Yeah, it's in Washington, San Jose.
Terms on the bar.
I don't mind either way.
Yeah, I think you really like being on the island.
It's great.
Yeah.
That's like,
And it's like, connections with right.
that's like, right, that's like,
Because that's how I really became, that's really when I'm on.
Oh, wow, congratulations. That's
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah, I've been there. It's because JP is out of class since I was a kid.
It is this is a
So,
beautiful.
Yeah, that's another really awesome. It's amazing.
yeah, well, it's, and JP likes being on that.
He's got a good setup.
It's not good, it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
2,000 pounds, they're good, man. Two, that's a G3X touch.
Did you ever go to the gala?
Yeah. I do it now.
No,
Too much time.
no, I haven't.
Yeah.
There was a time they had University play the drums. And I missed it.
Right. This year is honoring
Should have been
the Jewish culture
culture.
of the island.
Oh, wow.
And the straight.
My partner, Lee Hunt, his grandfather was
It's this barely, I mean, like,
mayor.
it's beautiful.
Oh, Russell?
Yeah, it's beautiful. We'll take a ride. It's 150. It's not just gonna be. That's fair.
Louis Russell's the mayor.
Yeah, what Russ.
All right, notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 26, 2026 at 1:02 p.m. A meeting started at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Friendswood, Texas. Appeal of administrative hearing decision regarding Tanos Development Group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates. It's an appeal of administrative hearing. Case file number 30 Wilderness Trails GCCDD 11-001. Appeal of the decision regarding violation 2H as a hotel. Final plat approval review as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. The time is now 2:10 PM. Mr. Booth?
Yes, thank you. I have tendered to the board a letter setting forth 10 grounds. And we were, and on behalf of Tanos and Lone Star Wilderness, request that the board reverse and vacate the fine for the reasons and the grounds stated in such letter.
Mr. Lindbergh?
Final, 2H final plat review is a requirement of the published district design and criteria manual. That is a requirement for all citizens who perform activities in this district to follow and comply with. Mr. Tanos's company was assessed a violation for failure to comply with the final plat review. This board met and made the decision that he had not complied with the manual, and today we've heard no other information that would suggest he has somehow complied with the manual. This board must make a decision whether it's heard any evidence that would justify it changing its decision.
So before the board is an appeal of the decision regarding violation 2H as a hotel final plat review as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. Do you have a motion from a board member for an upholding the decision or a discussion?
Motion to appeal.
Second. We have a motion to uphold. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. I will now close down the hearing on 2 Hotel 2H. The time is 2:12 PM. Are you down in Galveston, Robert?
Yes, I am.
How cold did it even break freezing there?
I mean, it did freeze, but
Barely.
Galveston strong, we will rebuild. Everybody else.
I just had some, my youngest is getting married and her family came down from Prosper. And of course, they're originally from the Carolina area. His parents they're all born in Prosper, him and his sisters, and super nice family group. But they're Dallas, and they came down. Really, that's the first time they've ever spent any time near the Galvez or Gatos or the seawall and stuff or Galveston. I'm gonna tell you, every time, we're all from here, so it's different for us. We're kind of used to it. But every time I really bring somebody down here who's not from here, especially during the winter like this, now the weather was outstanding. It was like 58 degrees last week and really nice. I'm always amazed how beautiful and historic Galveston is. Because we went, of course, we went to the Galvez for wedding stuff and the Brown House for reception or for what we call rehearsal. Yeah, rehearsal, whatever. And then, of course, just walking through the Galvez, and then we had to go to the historic, the Strand for by Post Office Street and by the Tremont to see some stuff and the Opera House. And I could just see it in their eyes. They're kind of like, man, this place is pretty cool, pretty old. And I said, yeah, people have no idea how great Galveston is. I mean, all we're lacking is that crystal blue water.
Right.
That's it.
Which you'll never get.
We'll never get. I know. Can you imagine? I mean, but they were blown away just by not so much how pretty it was, but the history. They were like, we had no idea. They were reading the plaques. You could tell, even at the Catholic church right there, with a lot of the weddings we had, they were reading the plaques. They were like, we had no idea.
Well, if you go to the Tremont Hotel abroad by the Strand and you look at that building and all the signs around it, all says Blum. And that was my great grandfather's hardware store.
Oh, wow.
What is the Tremont Hotel? And that building, we operated the hardware store until 1971.
Oh, wow.
When we closed and sold it, to George Mitchell. And then he sat on the building for 15 years or so into the 80s when he converted it to a hotel. And, but it's sort of fun when you go look at my family's history on the island. There's the most people that survived the storm were in that one building.
I love bragging on the island when we go down there. Like I said, it always hits home to these people. They just don't, they spend so much time up in Dallas. I don't think they understand the history
of Galveston, even going back to the Civil War. I mean, they don't understand, I mean, how impressive and how many rich people live down here, you know, and when the Great Storm hit, they're just always impressed by the history and how pretty it really is. You know, there's parts that aren't so pretty, but they're still historic and,
Yeah. Well, I think it's a great place, you know. You know, I spent a lot of time on that island because I had a lot of family on it until about 80.
and
They all died.
even going to a very commercial place that's famous like Gatto's, they still keep a lot of history up on a wall.
Yeah.
You can learn about the raising the island. You still look at one wall when you go on to the right. You can still, everybody's so, there's a lot of places like that in South Carolina and Amelia Island and Jekyll Island where they always tell the story of something.
Mhm.
And even the most commercial places down there have kept telling the story. And I think the Galvez has done a really nice job of when you walk in there, it still feels like you're in the 20s. That when you walk in and just the way it looks, you get that. And then I love the new 1923 display right there.
Mhm.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, I represent Mark Wyatt. He put, a big remodel recently.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah,
I think it's beautiful. I think the place is so beautiful.
it's absolutely.
Wasn't it remodeled before Sammy's wedding?
Yes,
Yeah.
and now they're doing the other room. So
Okay.
my daughter got married in the south room, and now they're doing the northern room, kind of the rounder where the
Okay.
courtyard is. And I think it's going to be beautiful. I think they're going to do a great job. It's so historic walking down those hallways. You just feel like you're back in time.
Well, I like,
Seeing it in 1923 was really cool.
Wasn't it cool?
I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
well, I liked when they took the parking lot out of the front of it and made it, put landscaping back and cleaned the front up because there was a while that was all just paved parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they building that new, what time was it? The new, aren't they building some new big resort down there somewhere? Is it on?
Yeah, we represent them too. It's the Margaritaville.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is that going to happen for sure?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Where's it located?
On East Beach
Oh, okay, so it's down there.
by the Palisade.
You know, the Hilton Hotel that's on NASA Road 1 up by NASA is becoming a Margaritaville too.
No, that's
Is
not
it
bad.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
because a
funny.
couple
That's
of
where my wedding
guys,
reception was.
one of my Lakewood Yacht Club friends is behind that.
It's just franchises.
Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, that was the that hotel was the spot.
Oh, we had a friend. That's the
There were
reason.
more divorces out of that place.
And murders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Been murdered.
I was very,
Yeah. Well,
very,
no,
very thankful that our reception was
So
done.
that's one of your, actually, that's my neighbor, right? I mean, that's from, that Claire's house is right across the
Oh, really?
road from me. I mean, literally, I can throw a rock
Is
and
she your neighbor now?
No,
No.
but the house is there and it's fun. The Dallas people go, hey, I was looking at a documentary. Jen was saying that, is that the house? And I said, yep, Jen, that's it. She goes, the one that backed over. I said, that's it. Yeah, right there. She was like, man, you live in a thing. I was like, I don't know about that.
I miss right across the street from that Hilton, the West Mansion.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a shame.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I was sort of disappointed Elijah let that. Yeah.
let it go, yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's just nothing.
It's too, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Yeah.
I'm learning more and more about BLM.
About 30 seconds.
Like other people how important it is
Don't even
to
think
be.
about it. I know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 26th, 2026 at 1:02 p.m. So we started the full meeting at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Friendswood, Texas. Appeal of administrative hearing decision, Tanos Development Group LLC, Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates, regarding the appeal of administrative hearing, case file number 30, Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-001. Appeal of the decision regarding violation 2I is in India. Final plat approval as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. Mr. Ruth.
Thank you. I've tendered to the board a letter dated today with exhibits setting forth 10 different grounds. And I request that the board, on behalf of Tanos and Lone Star Wilderness, vacate and reverse the finding.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Lipper?
Violation 2I, final plat approval is a requirement in our published district design criteria manual that all citizens doing development work down here in this county have to comply with. This board previously met, gave notice of the violation, and determined that the violation had in fact occurred. Today, we've heard nothing that would factually that would suggest the violation did not occur, as the board found. The board has to make a decision whether it has heard something that justifies changing its prior decision.
Okay, thank you. So before the board is an appeal of the decision regarding violation 2I in India, final plat approval as referenced in the findings attached here to and incorporated herein. Do I have a motion by a board member to uphold or to discuss?
Motion to uphold.
Second.
We have a motion to uphold, Mr. Johnson, a second by Mr. Gerard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. I will now close this hearing down at 2:22 p.m. on violation 2.
So it was Mayor Levy.
That's before my time.
Yeah, he was mayor of Galveston in 1937, and but he was mayor from like 37 to about 55. It's not a long period. He's Mayor Levy. So my partner Lee Herman is of the Levy clan, and so. But anyway, the Bryan Museum in Galveston is honoring the Jewish heritage from the island in their gala. It's coming up in June, and one of the fun parts is one of the people they're talking about is my partner's grandfather, who was a longtime mayor of Galveston, and of course, my brother was a rabbi on the island.
Did they have a funeral though?
That's the cousin. It was very good.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right there on Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah, cousin. And my partner, when he graduated from Northwestern University with a degree in journalism, became a writer for the Galveston Daily News and lived in a beach house. Well, a beach house, it was a bay house on Offutt's Bayou right there. He's always had an affinity for the island. And this Bryan Museum is owned by a good friend and also a client of mine, J.P. Bryan.
I used to fly for him.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Too. Yeah.
Great guy. He has the Gage Hotel out.
Well, and he just, if you want to talk about something really cool in Texas, cool in Texas history, is he just bought the Luther Hotel in Palacios. Have you ever heard of this?
I have, yeah. I didn't know he bought it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, so right after the 1900 storm, when Galveston was just a wreck, the Luthers built this fabulous hotel in Palacios on Matagorda Bay. And it was really successful from about 1908 to about 1948, about that 40-year window. And then it just became Palacios. And he's bought the hotel and he's restoring it back to be a tourist destination.
We used to fly him to, when he was with Torch, he ran Torch.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and his wife, Mary John, they're wonderful people.
Yeah.
And then he was with Gulf Canada,
Uh-huh.
and we'd take him to Calgary.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
He got kicked out. I was a lawyer then.
Were you?
You ever hear his speech against the Canadians?
No. We had to get Canadian pilots
Yeah.
because they wouldn't let us fly.
Yeah.
US pilots,
Yeah.
I'm wondering why.
Yeah. I used to go up there.
I might have flown you. We had a wet
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
A guy named Chuck Beecher and I.
Is that what
Chuck's passed away.
Y'all through the West Wind?
Yeah, we flew West Wind and a Hawker.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of Brad's last name. He had a really long time pilot.
Brad Silva.
No, and he lived up in Conroe. I'm embarrassed to say, I can't remember his name. He killed himself about 6 or 7 years ago. But Brad flew. JP, sort of at the end of Torch, went in the MU2 phase.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he had 3 different
Oh,
MU2s.
he was a lawyer. No, different guy.
No, this guy was a pilot. He had just sort of missed it, the airlines, being able to get in with the airlines and stayed on with JP. And when JP decided to get out of owning his own airplane, his pilot decided it was time for him to be done too.
You know, there was a guy that was a lawyer, like Earl.
Hey,
He was probably the highest time MUT driver.
yeah.
He just river oaks guy,
Mhm.
could have done anything he wanted, but he just liked fly airplanes. So
Yeah.
he taught in those airplanes and at flight safety, and he unfortunately passed away of cancer. But
Well, I was a partner in 100 Bravo Hotel, which was a marquee.
You talking about a plane got a bad rap? That's a wonderful airplane.
It is a good.
It's a wonderful airplane. It's fast, they're bulletproof, they're tough. But I think they're life limited bodies too. I don't think there's any limits on them. They're stout.
Yeah, they are.
you know, Clayton Williams lost one. They let it ice up. I mean,
Yeah.
just
I love what you see out of them. They're fast.
Yeah.
190 pounds a side.
Mm-hmm.
They're real fuel efficient.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people still love them.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like Aerostars. I love the Aerostar, but a lot of people think they're dangerous, you know, but if you.
Well, MU2s are too, if you don't, the slats, if you don't train in them and you don't understand them.
Right.
I mean, everything's like that. I mean, there's a lot of planes that have little
Yeah.
quirks that you need to just be very aware of. A lot of these turboprops are really, these single engine turboprops, you know, they're very, very torquey in the way you take off and the way you do go arounds. I mean, you don't just cram them like pistons and stuff. And, you know, there's a lot, and then some of them are, you know, the long noses when they're modified in STC. There's always quirks to them. But the MU2 was, it's a remarkable plane. What it delivers.
Spoiler, you know, it didn't have ailerons, it had spoilers.
Right.
And you didn't want to use those on an engine out. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
it's going to kill your lift. But as I recall, that VMC was very close to stall speed.
It was.
I think there was 6 knots or something.
Very tight window.
Yeah, if you could get past that, then you were okay on a single engine.
Yeah, well, I've got about 200 hours in the MU2
In that
100 Bravo Hotel.
Is that the long one?
Uh-huh. It's
Yeah.
the biggest one.
More.
It was sort of the last gasp. They were really trying to compete with King Air, and they extended the cabin, and it was configured, you know, with seats that faced each other with a table in the middle, and it was really a very luxurious airplane. You know,
They used to assemble them in San Angelo.
that's right.
That's where they assembled.
They bring them to Japan and sell them there.
Yeah, and that's why you may know this, Mooney and MU2 and Mitsubishi merged for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they were moving the Mooney production to San Angelo, and the whole thing all fell apart. Yeah.
God, Mooney, what a story they've gone.
Yeah.
Wonders.
And you probably know this, you know, the TBM is a Mooney product. That's what the M is in TBM.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Tarbes Mooney. Because it was Tarbes France and Mooney. Yeah.
They make good airplanes.
Great airplanes.
Cicada
Yeah,
makes great
that
airplanes.
That was going to be a Mooney.
Oh,
Yeah, and
that's-
Mooney made an airplane called the Mustang.
Yeah, remember that one? That was pressurized.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cicada, the TBMs they're great. Okay,
Yeah.
ready? All right. Notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 26, 2026. Meeting started at 1:02 p.m. at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Friendswood, Texas. Appeal of administrative hearing decision, Tanos Development Group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trails Estates. Appeal of administrative hearing, case file number 30 Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-001. Appeal of the decision regarding violation 2K as in kilo, pre-application meeting as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. The time is now 2:30 p.m. Mr. Ruth.
Thank you. On behalf of Tanos and Lone Star Wilderness, I've tendered to the board a letter setting forth 10 different grounds and request that the penalty be reversed and vacated on those grounds.
Thank you.
Mr. Lippert.
Violation 2K requires a pre-application meeting. It's a published requirement in our design district criteria manual, district design criteria manual. The board previously met and determined that Mr. Tanis's company had not complied with that requirement and issued its fine. Today, we've heard no new evidence that would suggest that that fine was issued in error, but the board needs to make a decision whether it has heard something that would justify it changing its prior decision on the fine.
Okay, so before the board is appeal the decision regarding violation 2K as in kilo, pre-application meeting as referenced in the finding attached hereto and incorporated herein. Do I have a motion by a board member for discussion or for upholding the decision?
Motion to uphold.
Second.
A motion to uphold and a second by Mr. Gibson. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. I will close down the decision regarding violation 2Ks and kilo at 2:32 p.m. January 26, 2026.
Married my wife's from Galveston. She was part of the Iban family. They used to have a apartment store there.
Yeah.
Her grandfather was a cotton. He was British. He was a cotton exporter.
Okay. Well, my family was on the island from sort of the very beginning, until everybody sort of ended up in Houston, But the last part of my family was gone in about 80, And
Did you grow up down there?
no, Houston.
Yeah. I remember my parents talking about the Lensis company, which is an HVAC company.
Yeah, George.
George, his cousins,
Yeah.
Jim, and their grandfather, Jim's father, a dealer in Balnature. And my parents used to tell a story about being in there one night when they shot some guy and threw him out in the surf.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anyway, the Lensis boys, I grew up with them. We all went to school together. And when their grandfather died, they were they had the service down there, and he would play cards until he died when he was in his 90s. And he would play cards every week with his buddies, and they talked about the black cars that would pull up, and people would get out and pay their respects, and then get right back in the car.
Yeah.
And leave.
Yeah.
That was one thing I couldn't show them that they wanted to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they asked about Robert and Eric. You'll see they asked about that. They asked about the golf. I said, well, you're a little late on that one. You're not real late. I said, you're just, you're not here. You should just come, but it's not there. Isn't there a sign still there that says, does it still say on Seawall that it was here? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But they wanted to know if it was still there. I said, no.
Yeah.
I was a reserve deputy sheriff under Jack Hurd for a while,
Okay.
and then the guy after him was Clevenhagen.
Uh-huh.
And Clevenhagen's dad was a Texas Ranger that busted it up.
Oh, really?
And Johnny had a Thompson that his dad took out of there.
Oh, that's funny.
And he donated it to the Texas Ranger
You're
Museum.
kidding me?
Waco. No.
Yeah.
A real Thompson?
Oh, yeah.
Jim Gibson needs one. Look, he's smiling. He wanted to. He likes that. He heard that. He perked up. You hear that? He perked up. He said Thompson. He's like, yeah.
Well, have you been to the Bryan Museum again?
No, I'm a member.
You need to go.
I need to go. I haven't
You need to
been.
go.
I was just there. That little glass room they have for receptions, I'm telling you, we've had a reception dinner there. Not, what's the one before the wedding? Is that what it's called?
Rehearsal dinner.
Rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
We had one there for my daughter. Man, it was beautiful. That's a beautiful room
I'll
at
tell you-
night.
tell you-
It's all lit up.
Funny thing about that room. So when JP bought that property, he got a great buy, by the way, on that museum. It was $1 million. There was a guy from
The whole property?
whole thing.
That's amazing.
There was a guy from Greece that had owned it who was going to turn it into his own residence, that building. And he had sort of lost interest in it. He was living over in Greece and decided he wanted to get rid of it. And there wasn't anybody that had a use for the building. So it just sort of stagnated, and JP came in and bought it to turn it into a museum, and it made a nice museum, and he wanted to have a wedding venue, so he wanted to build that glass room. So we're sitting one day, and I said, I think you can buy one of these on eBay. And we did. That thing came off eBay.
Wow. Dude, the courtyard and the bathrooms, I'm telling you, that's,
I mean, it's
a great set of.
It's an
orange back.
constructed building on top of a
That's
concrete
funny.
slab.
That's funny.
And of course, it came from China.
I don't like that part.
Yeah.
I like it though. I like that courtyard. I like that whole setup.
Yeah, it's neat,
One of my parents' great friends was Babe Schwartz. He was a
Mhm.
state senator, lawyer down there. And a lot of times my wife, in a previous life, my wife and I, if my parents couldn't make it, they'd ask us to go. It was typically a fundraiser. And we're on the Alyssa, and then this big bowl of cold boiled shrimp.
Mhm.
And Senator Schwartz told me, Dave, this reminds me of a wedding I was at years ago at the Galvez. He said, my dad was standing over there just eating one after another as cold boiled shrimp. And I walked up and said, Dad, those aren't kosher. And his dad told him, yeah, these Gentiles don't know that, son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, don't bother him while he's eating cold boiled shrimp.
Yeah.
You're not bothering the man. He's a Gulf Coast.
He was
Jewish. My dad's partner in all kinds of real estate was J.J. Hiller from Houston. And anyway, they had a great partnership. And my dad got an award from the international, the Christian Jews
Mhm.
for support of them. And they'd ask my dad, man, what are you doing messing with these Jews? He goes, hey, my boss is a Jewish carpenter. So
Yeah. Well, it's, there's a lot of interesting stories, of those days. My father practiced law with his father-in-law.
where did he practice in Galveston?
Houston.
Oh, in Houston.
Houston. Yeah.
Who was your father? His father-in-law?
Ben Blum. So he's the son of the hardware store.
I got you.
Because the hardware store is my great grandfather. And if you go walk around the Tremont Hotel, you'll see every marker there, it says Blum.
I was just there. I wish I'd known that. I
And
pointed
in
it
fact,
out.
If you look at the ironwork on top of the building, it says Blum. Because that was their business, and they were merchants. It was the Ben Blum Hardware Company.
Wow.
And it was a very successful business from the 1800s to like 71.
See, that's another thing Galveston has that is really unique. You have that seawall vibe and then you go down to the Strand. It's a whole different vibe. It gives you that, it gives that New Orleans type vibe that, of course it is. But I mean, that's another thing. You get really and then you go down towards y'all and you get off the seawall. I mean, there's a lot to offer. It's a lot of different.
Well, I think when the Battleship Texas opens in Galveston.
When is that again? When's that coming back?
The ship is almost done. And
when does they open it again?
Oh, I think in about a year. I know that Fertitta is.
I hope it's all that in a bag of chips. I hope it's awesome.
Well, they've spent a bunch of money. It's unbelievable how much money they've raised to do it. And it's in really good shape. I've been on a couple of tours of it, and they really did a nice job of renovating.
I think it's a smart move moving it to the destination.
Yeah, well, the Sand Center Battleground was just not it wasn't pretty anymore. It's surrounded by industry. It's a difficult place to keep a ship. You can't get enough people to go on it to make it economic.
I like it down there too.
Yeah, Galveston's going to be a great location for it.
Y'all ready? Notice this, I gave up a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 2026 at 1:02 p.m. at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Brunswick, Texas. Appeal of the administrative hearing decision, Tanos Development Group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trail Estates. Appeal of administrative hearing, case file number 30 Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-001. It's an appeal of decision regarding violation 2L as in Lima. Preliminary drainage plan review as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. Mr. Booth.
I've tender to the board a letter setting forth 10 grounds on behalf of Tanos and Lone Star Wilderness and request for those reasons that you reverse and vacate the finding.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lippert.
Violation 2L is the requirement of a preliminary drainage plan review is among one of the requirements of the district's published design criteria manual. All citizens are required to comply with the same rules and restrictions to develop in this area of the county. Previously presented to the board were the reasons why that penalty should be assessed. Today, this is the appeal from the district's board members' prior decision, and no evidence has been presented that I've heard that suggests a change should be made, but it is the decision of this board to decide whether it has heard any information that would justify it changing its prior decision.
Thank you. So before the board is an appeal of the decision regarding violation 2L as in Lima, preliminary drainage plan review as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. Do I have a motion by a board member for discussion or holding the decision?
Move to uphold.
Second. I have a move to uphold by Mr. Gibson, second Mr. Johnson. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. And we'll conclude this hearing at 2:42 p.m. on violation 2 Lima.
Dean, are y'all old enough to know about the Balinese room?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about there. Nobody, yeah, you can tell stories on it. I think that's remarkable. Spend any time over there? Story.
When I moved down here, it was in the throes of being shut down. So no, I never got out here on
What year did you move down?
66.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's grandmother talks about there was no depression down here, no nothing. Those people took care of everybody.
Yeah.
The church needed money. This outfit needed money, and the crime was non-existent. They didn't want anybody messing with their customers.
Yeah.
What did the Macios
Uh-huh.
be involved in that?
Yep. You ever been to
Crime
Macio's
was more
restaurant?
organized than disorganized.
Maceo has the Macios have a little restaurant that's sort of over by the federal courthouse. The best muffaletta in town. If you like a muffaletta, it's really,
Saw an ad for them the other day,
yeah,
actually.
it's really good. And red beans, they make really good red beans and rice. You know,
You guys run into a guy named Mark Hill down there?
oh yeah.
Mark and I were.
Look at both of them, yes.
Mark and I, well, I apologize. I had a 50-50 chance. But
You can't forget Mark.
Mark and I knew each other in grade school and high school, and we were both in the Corps, same class
Yeah.
of 76 at A&M. And anyway, Mark and I get together once in a while, but
Yeah.
his mom, was a model, Dallas Hill. She was kind of a glamorous model, and
Not Mark.
that Mark's not glamorous.
Yeah. Yeah, he offices somewhere by the saltwater grill.
He's got Boston Grill office.
Yeah, because every time I eat lunch down there, I'll run into him.
We would.
I have My wife used to get her haircut down there, and if I wasn't flying, I'd go down there and I'd go down there together and we'd have lunch at the saltwater. And
Yeah.
one day we're in there and there's a bunch of guys over by the window. We would sit at the bar and have a glass of wine and have lunch. So she got up to go to the restroom. She came back. She went and walked by there and said, "What are you guys celebrating?" They said, "Oh, come on, sit down. Come on, we'll buy you a drink." And meanwhile, I'm up there at the bar with steam coming out of my ears. My wife's over flirting with these guys. So they said, "Hey, come on over." So we went over there and sat down with them, and biggest guy in the room says, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, I'm a heavy equipment operator." And I said, "What do you do?" He goes, "We're lawyers. We're having fun here, just celebrating the case." I'm like, "Oh, great." So we have a couple of drinks, and after that, he says, All right, tell me what you really do. I said, well, I fly corporate airplanes for a living. And so she wanted to. I said, what do you do? He said, well, I'm a federal judge. Sam Kent.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He took a shine into my pretty blonde wife.
That sounds like him.
Did you ever go to the Esau, the kind of burger joint down by, when Battlefield was over off Battleground Road?
You know, I don't think I did, but I've heard it.
We had a client say, oh, you gotta take us there, you know, we secured the business, take us. We had it for over 2 hours because they ordered the bison burgers.
Okay.
And those took forever, and you had to wait because any ticket ahead of you started before your bison burger. So we're just sitting there, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, so we're an hour in and we haven't seen a bite of food yet, and it's like, oh, I'm not coming here again. He's like, well, you could have gotten a regular burger and you'd already be out of here.
One of the really fun experiences I got to do was when the battleship Texas was relocated from San Jacinto to the shipyard where it is. They allowed some people to come aboard the ship during the movement. And I got to ride aboard the ship as it's down the ship channel. It was just a really interesting thing to do, you know, to be aboard this ship. You know, that's got all this great history.
You remember which hurricane wiped the Esau out
Yeah,
at some point?
I bet, you know,
It was pre-Archie, and it's been a while.
yeah,
You were filming here in 1920.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get to do much for this. No, they didn't.
No,
It feels
the San Jacinto Inn used to be there too.
it was cool to be
And
on,
that was a real icon.
Yeah.
on the show.
You know,
Isn't that cool?
we-
That is the scariest ferry
Yeah.
I've ever been on.
Is
You're
that-
barely
that-
above the water.
That ferry's still there?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and you're this far above the water. My kid went from his seat to my lap as soon as that thing started moving. He's like, this is stupid. So then I took him back through the tunnel,
Yeah,
of course, and then it was dead stop traffic, and he's like, this isn't any better.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm,
How long did it take you to make that trip from,
that was about 7 hours, I think is what it was, maybe 8 hours to make it. And we ended up, you got to ride from out of the slip at San Jacinto to right by where the entrance to the Galveston ship channel is. And we came off out there. We didn't get to ride to the dock because they were bringing it into a dry dock. And they didn't think it was going to be safe to have people aboard in the dry dock. You know,
Liability, you're saying?
yeah, yeah. So we had to get off, but it was a fun.
how'd y'all get off?
Oh, they came alongside with a crew boat, and there's actually a ladder down the side of the boat welded on it, you know, for us to go down. You know.
Just like you're getting off to go to the beach.
Yeah, yeah, but it's really a great restoration. You know, the submarine there, the Kabbalah, which is at Sewell Park, is a really important piece of World War II history.
A guy, a good friend of mine, he's still around. He trained on that boat. He was a machinist made on that boat.
Yeah,
Jim Walker.
that submarine sunk more tonnage, I think, in the Pacific than any other submarine. It's got had crazy good luck. And the sister ship to it is the Bowfin, which is at Pearl Harbor. Still on display at Pearl Harbor. Yeah.
Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Notice is hereby given of a special meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Monday, January 26, 2026. Meeting started at 1:02 p.m. at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Brunswick, Texas. Appeal of administrative hearing decision regarding Tanos Development Group LLC and Lone Star Wilderness Trail Estates regarding the appeal of an administrative hearing, case and file number 30 Wilderness Trails, GCCDD 11-001. Appeal of the decision regarding violation 2M as in Mike. Preliminary drainage plan approval as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. Mr. Ruth.
Thank you. I tendered to the board a letter setting forth 10 grounds. And for the reasons set forth in that letter on behalf of Tanos and Lone Star Wilderness, request that the board vacate and reverse the finding.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Liver.
Violation 2M requiring a preliminary drainage plan approval is among the published requirements for the Drainage District Design and Criteria Manual. Previously, that violation was addressed to the board who made the decision the violation having in fact occurred and assessed a fine for that violation. Today, we're here on the appeal of that decision by the board, and I've heard no evidence that would suggest that the board was in error in its previous decision. Of course, the board has participated and reviewed the same letter and is entitled to make its own decision whether evidence has been brought forward that would justify changing the prior decision.
So before us is appeal of decision regarding violation 2M as in Mike. Preliminary drainage plan approval as referenced in the findings attached hereto and incorporated herein. The board member wants to make a motion on upholding the decision or to discuss.
Motion to uphold.
Second.
Motion to uphold Mr. Jones, second by Ms. Gerard. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And before I close this down on 2 as in Mike, I wanted to say that I appreciate the professionalism and the demeanor of both councils. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the board, the staff for the patience and being on time. And that will conclude our administrative hearing on 2 Mike at 2:52 p.m. Thank you all.
So Eric, one more piece of Galveston trivia. Hickam Air Force Base in Pearl Harbor. The Army would name those bases after aviators that died.